Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, August 11th, 2017. Welcome to another eBay video. Oddly enough, it's actually sunny out right now, but this is not expected to last. It is 73 degrees right now on Friday, and the clouds are expected to roll in later with on and off rain tonight and tomorrow. So no surprise there. Let's get started with today's eBay video and today's topics. We're going to discuss circumventing the eBay block list. We're also going to discuss when to neg a seller, eBay concierge again, and your questions, comments, and concerns from last week's video. So we'll start right out with your comments from last week's video. Regarding cancellations, IL Matt wrote, number one, every seller who cancels a sale without even sending a message deserves a negative. They should at least respect the buyer enough to message them and say something. Make up an excuse, anything, but don't leave the buyer hanging as if they are insignificant. I ran out of stock once. I had a bundle listing of 2 diabetic test strip boxes. I sold a bunch of them, but when it got down to the last 2, I noticed only 1 was left in the case. I forgot I sold a single box when I first got the shipment. To preserve the sale and keep the buyer happy, I had to run to the store and buy a box at full price, which put me in the hole by $3. It was my mistake, not the buyer, so that $3 loss was on me. It would be unfair and bad business to make the buyer suffer with a canceled sale for my own stupidity. That is a great comment, and I agree with him 100%. I myself have said many times that I've run out of items that I've sold on eBay, and I would never disappoint a customer, and I never have yet. I go to other sellers like myself, and I buy the item, just like IL Matt did, to make the buyer happy. Also on cancellations, this is also from IL Matt, number 2, meaning seller number 2 that I described last week, should be banned from eBay. You never refund a buyer in anything other than the exact same method they used to buy from you. And they showed extreme contempt for buyers who are the bread and butter of eBay. Give them a big fat red circle, and while you're at it, send them a big bag of cat poop. Edit. Changed my mind about the e-check after reading comments. Didn't realize that's how PayPal does it when there's no funds. They still deserve a negative though. That was bad business. Also on the e-check, from Vivid Rings, there is no option on eBay to refund via e-checks. You are getting an e-check because the seller's PayPal account has insufficient funds to cover your transaction. Basically, he cashed out and PayPal had to resource to back up funds. Very good points. This is something I learned actually from you guys last week that I did not know. As I said, I want to rehash this real quick because this ties in with when to neg a seller. I got stung in the last few weeks 2 times by 2 different eBay sellers. One canceled the sale with no explanation. Number 2 took my money, sent me nothing, did not answer my contacts to him, and when I opened the case with eBay, did not refund me. eBay had to step in and refund me. And I was refunded with an e-check. And the reason is, and I did not know this at the time, the seller did not initiate the refund. eBay did, through PayPal. And what this seller did, I want to convey this to you because I think a few of you guys don't quite get this. This seller sold me an item about a month ago, and maybe some items to other buyers as well, and took my money and sent me nothing, and must have actually planned to do this because he then cleaned out his PayPal account. All right, I did not tell you that last week because I didn't realize it, but that's how egregious this particular seller was. So I had asked you guys in last week's video, should I neg these 2 sellers? Most of you guys said to neg both of them. A few of you guys said do not neg number 1, but neg number 2. I think just about everybody said to neg number 2. So you're probably wondering what I did right now, okay? I looked into both cases very carefully. Seller number 1 was the guy who canceled the sale and didn't contact me in any way, which is just plain wrong. His feedback is 100%. I checked it. And you know, I gotta be honest with you, I really hate to neg a seller. Even though this guy dicked me over and did not complete the transaction and did not offer me any explanation, he did refund my money right away. So I have not negged him. The second seller is the person who in fact took my money, sent me nothing, did not answer my contacts or my item not received case, and eBay had to intercede because this clown cleaned out his PayPal account and fled. Well, I negged him, and I'm damn proud of it. I negged him, and I predict he will not be on eBay very much longer. His feedback now on eBay is 96.7%. When have you seen an eBay seller with such a low feedback on eBay? I haven't. Right now his store shows closed or on vacation, and it says will return or something to that effect. Notice I haven't mentioned him. I haven't mentioned his user ID because I don't roll that way. However, I'm sure somebody will check and find out who it is. But anyway, I just wanted to update you guys that that's what happened. I let the first seller off the hook. The second seller got his big red neg, just like he deserved. So if any of you guys have any comments about that, I'd love to hear them. Also, on your comments from last week's, 2 people wrote in about eBay Concierge. First was Dale Leonard. Wow, I've had eBay Concierge for about a year and it's very good. Response time is usually within 15 minutes and I have gotten a lot of scams and issues resolved quickly. Really, only 250 people? I can't imagine I was that lucky. And right after that, Duncan Van Ray's World wrote in and said, I have been with the eBay Concierge program for over a year. If you ring the red hotline phone, they have to answer within 1 minute. If you want, you can request a call or email eBay Direct on any topic. A real-time saver with dedicated team of eBay staff to help you. Joe, I hope you get offered this eBay Concierge service. I also find it a little unusual that if only 250 people have it, that at least 2 of them are my subscribers. I heard yesterday, Thursday afternoon on eBay Radio, that eBay Concierge has been rolled out to the people like myself that attended eBay Open a couple of weeks ago. Now, I cannot confirm that because I haven't had any reason to call eBay in the last 2 weeks. But next time I call them, I will in fact let you guys know if I am yet enrolled in the eBay Concierge program. I think that's going to be great. They even made a point to say that the days of calling eBay customer service and having the calls outsourced overseas are coming to an end. And that is about damn time. I think that was ridiculous that any U.S. company would outsource their calls overseas. Let's keep the jobs here, let's keep the money here, because the people here in the United States understand the problems we are going through. The eBay Concierge staff are specially trained people. Some have worked at eBay for some time. Some come from other venues where they were in fact enrolled in customer service jobs, and they have the experience and the know-how to help us. So guys, this is great news. The last comment I'm going to read today is from Red Neckerson's Resales. I think that you're one of the most informative people I have ever watched. Just wanted to tell you thank you. Well, sir, thank you very much for saying that. It means a lot, and I'm glad that I am able to come out here each week and help you guys with your eBay sales and eBay issues. I would now like to move on to the main topic of today's video, which is circumventing the eBay block list. However, Before I do that, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop and I'm going to have a drink of refreshing water. And that drink of water will be out of this Fox News cup. Yeah. Okay, guys, the eBay block bidder list. I would like to know from you guys, how many of you actively use the eBay block bidder list, and what reasons do you have to block somebody? If you would please comment that below. In the early days of eBay, when I did auctions, I got a lot of unpaid buyers. People would bid on my stuff, buy my stuff, and not pay. Those people were automatically entered into my block bidder list. By automatically, I mean that they earned it, and I physically put them into the block bidder list, where they remain today in 2017. When people return items to me because they did not read the listing correctly, I do not block them for that. That's just stupidity on their part, but they didn't actually, in my opinion, try and hurt me. They just didn't read the listing, so that's not a big deal. The only time I will block somebody, other than a non-paying bidder, is when someone messages me and makes demands or uses a tone that tells me there's going to be a problem down the line. It doesn't happen often. It did happen this week, and I'll get to that in a second. Like if somebody says, your item states that it is in very good condition. If I buy this item and I'm not happy with it, I'm going to be very mad at you, and I'm going to react accordingly. I mean, if anybody writes you a letter like that ahead of time, it is a trouble sign, and you really need to react to that. So, those of you guys who watch all my videos, remember back around just before the July 4th weekend, I told you the story of a bidder who wrote to me and said, Joe, you have a particular item for $135. I want to offer you $90 for it. Now, normally I would not go that low, but I was scared that the July 4th weekend was going to be slow. So I wanted to grab the quick $90 sale. So I said to the guy, what I always say to people when they hit me with an offer that I think is reasonable. I said, if I lower the price to $90, will you buy the item today? And I answered him right away. And he wrote back and said, yes, I will. To me, that's fine. That's all I ask. I lowered the price to 90 bucks. Immediately, within 1 minute, he never bought the item. So the next day, I raised the price back to $135. And I should tell you that even at $135, I was running a 10% sale off in my store. So the item had been $150 with a slash through it, discounted to $135. Okay? A week goes by. I consider the matter closed. The same guy writes to me again and says, are these hubcaps still available? I said, they sure are, for $135. You're not getting them for 90 bucks because you gave me your word that you would buy them that day, and you didn't. And he wrote back and said, well, I had to go to my son's graduation. Apparently graduations last 1 week out in California. You may remember I talked about this a while back. I put the whole thing out of my mind. A week after that, he writes back again. Are these hubcaps still available? Okay. I don't believe this guy. I don't answer him right away. I wait this time. Normally I answer my customers within 10 minutes. Occasionally an hour if I'm on the road. He writes back again. Are you going to sell me these hubcaps for $90? I said, listen to me clearly. I said, you are not getting these hubcaps for $90, period. Okay? You gave me your word you would buy them. A few weeks ago, you didn't. Case closed. It's $135 if you want them. Okay? Never heard from him. So, last weekend, I believe it was Saturday or Sunday, he writes to me again. By now, I should tell you that my 10% sale has ended on that item. They're not $135, now they're $150, okay? He writes to me, I will offer you $110 for the items. I wrote back and said, no, the items are now $150. And I was getting concerned, I'll admit that at this time. Within half an hour, he writes back again, okay, I'll do $120 and I want to take the sale off eBay. Here's my phone number. I want you to call me and we will take the sale off eBay for $120. At that point, I knew that there was going to be an issue, okay? You should never take the sale off eBay, all right? So what I did right then was I blocked him. I didn't say I was going to block him, but I blocked him, all right? I wrote back to him and I said, I will never take the sale off eBay. All my sales have to stay on eBay for the protection of both the buyer and the seller. So what happens? About 20 minutes later, I hear a ka-ching on my iPhone. What sold? Those exact hubs to that guy with his second eBay account, okay? His first eBay account, the one I blocked, had a feedback of, I believe it was 8. His second eBay account has a feedback of 1, meaning, in my opinion, and this is purely speculation on my part, he did this once before to somebody else and they blocked him, so he started this second account to circumvent being blocked by the other seller. Are you with me on this? So now what do? Think about it. He went from offering me $90 to paying $150. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Who does this? Well, I sent him the items, all right? If he gives me any trouble, I will call eBay. And I will say he, number one, wanted to take the sale off eBay, which there's proof of. Number two, he circumvented the eBay block bidder list, which is another violation, which there's also proof of. Crazy, right? I mean, hey, I'm not looking to mess with the guy. I'm not looking to screw him over. If he doesn't mess with me, I consider the sale fine. It's done. I made $150. Can you believe it? If he would have been a man of his word on July 4th, I would have sold him those for 90 bucks. Instead, I got $60 more. Thank God for America, baby. So my question to you guys, has anything like this ever happened to you? This is only my second time in my 18 years on eBay that this happened. You may remember the previous time was about a year or two ago. A guy wrote to me and said, Joe, I want to buy your items for $25. However, you have me blocked because I bought them once before and I didn't pay you because you didn't take PayPal at the time. 7 years ago, he bought these things from me when I didn't take PayPal. But back then, eBay allowed a payment service called ProPay, which I did take. And this guy did not read the listing. He refused to comply with the rules and regulations stated in the listing. So I said, hey, I'm blocking you. So when he wrote to me 2 years ago, I said, no, I will not unblock you. I am a man of principle and I stand up for what I think is right. I said, you will never be unblocked because you did not read the listing, you did not comply with the listing terms, and you caused me extra grief. He went right out, made a brand new account, circumvented the block list, and bought the items that way. I sent him the items because he paid for them, and there was never an issue. So he didn't mess with me, I didn't mess with him. And the same holds true for this case. All right? So I would like your comments and concerns on eBay buyers that circumvent the eBay block bidder list. Has it happened to you? And let's exchange stories. You hear mine. Now I'd like to hear yours. My sales this week were very good, with the exception of last weekend. Do you know I went from Friday night straight through to Sunday afternoon with not a single solitary sale. That is insane, but it's true. Not a dime came in. However, starting Monday to right now, Friday, it's been non-stop. Excellent sales. Great. Love it. Just a very weird sales pattern. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Comments and concerns on anything we discussed or any issues you have on eBay. Okay? Thank you for watching. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Be here next Friday night at 7 o'clock p.m. for another eBay video. Your comments and concerns will actually guide what next week's show is about. And if you leave a cool comment, maybe I'll read it on next week's show. Remember, guys, I am a seller friend, not a seller critic or a skeptic of any kind. If you find this video helpful, please leave me a thumbs up because it tells me that I'm doing a good job in helping you guys out. If you don't feel I did a good job, comment below what you want me to discuss next week and we'll do it. Thanks for watching. Make some good sales. Rock on and peace! Yeah!